Hello, my name is Bobby Benton, aka Serendipitously Bobby, and welcome to Life Essentials, the Self Healer's Journey podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Life Essentials, the Self Healer's Journey podcast. I am Bobby Benton, aka Serendipitously Bobby, and I am your host. So, I have been gone for about 3 weeks, and it's kind of weird to be back again after 3 weeks. But tonight, guys, I have such a awesome guest, a dear friend of mine, Miss Dominique Johnson. And tonight she is going to share her journey to starting the Prom Project of Michigan. So first I want to read Dominique's bio to you guys. She's been on the show before she did the Kept Woman and share her journey. But this time, it's business. She wants to share about the Prom Project of Michigan. So Dominique Johnson graduated from Mercer University with a Master's of Science degree in Human Services in 2020 and cum laude with the Bachelor's of Arts degree in Business Management from Marygrove College in 2017. Her research and career paths have focused on community and victim-centered solutions for women and children experiencing sex trafficking and domestic violence. Her passion as a servant leader has led her to work 2 service terms with AmeriCorps as a Vista and Public Ally. As a new transplant to Atlanta, you ain't new no more.
4 years.
4 years. She has continued to work She has continued to work her work of service through volunteering and leadership for educational equality, Atlanta Coalition for Educational Equity and Atlanta Business League. She has created life skills coaching curriculum, which she's using for my program, y'all.
In English and Spanish.
Yes, that focuses on helping women who have been involved in sex work and provide resources to support their transition out of the lifestyle to make new choices that will benefit their communities, families, and themselves. I love this. Dominique has created and facilitated client-centered and evidence-based curriculum that help clients move into family-sustaining practices through employment and home ownership. Her current roles as founder of the Prom Project of Michigan and the director of outreach of Save the Pearls keeps her busy, yes, conducting the annual prom for survivors of human trafficking and domestic violence and producing monthly webinars to educate the community of vulnerabilities of children that may lead to trafficking. So welcome, Dominique. Girl, you done done a lot.
Ooh, I was tired for you saying all of that.
Girl, I need my spectacles because I'm like, I can't see. Y'all blew it up real big, but I'm sorry for butchering your...
You're fine. Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
Your bio. So, Dominique, I've been a long time coming. We planned this last year for you to be here today.
I did.
And I just want to say I'm honored to have you here.
Thank you, Bobby.
And I'm just so happy for you and just this journey that you are on.
Thank you.
And just watching you grow through this journey.
Thank you.
Like, you just blossoming more and more as Miss Head Boss in Charge here. I'm loving it. So, Dominique, share with our audience just where the journey began for you. Like, what even led up to say, even the thought, like, take us way back.
Okay. So, first of all, I give all honor to God because He was the one that gave me this vision. Anytime we have any type of event, I always pray and give honor to God because this is not a Dominique thing at all. I would have set this aside long time ago. And so about 25 years ago, I was working at a makeup counter, and a young woman that was pregnant came to the counter, and she was 28 years old, and she had a black eye. And she came to the makeup counter because she wanted someone to cover her eyes so that she can go to Bible study. And I had to walk away, and I went to the bathroom, and I just cried, cried, cried. And I heard the small voice of God say, "This is where it begins." And I had no idea what that meant. But once I got myself together, I did her makeup. I covered her up. I do makeup that looks more natural. I don't like that
Glam, extra drag queen look.
I was gonna say it, but yeah, that.
Yeah.
And so when I got done with her, you couldn't tell she had the black eye.
Okay.
But it broke my heart. And from there, God had to really, really work with me on having a love for women, because like my first go-to is not to nurture. It was definitely not to even hug, especially women, because I'm 4'11", and I hate when women hug me and they breasts are in my face. So I wouldn't hug women. So God had to work through some stuff with me on some of my own issues.
Yeah.
Fast forward, I got married, and I was in an emotionally and financially abusive relationship. My ex-husband would go to work, get a check. If I got $50 to cover any bills, it was a miracle. I experienced homelessness with him, and so the last eviction notice was also a bail bondsman notice. We were about to get all that stuff put out. And so I got on my face and I said, "God, my baby and I can't be homeless." And he started me on a new journey. And I was going to Wayne State at the time, and that's when I learned that you can make money doing nonprofit work. Because I really like fundraising. I like the schmoozing, and I like all that kind of stuff. So my focus just pivoted. And so I started working on what I thought was just a business idea. Turned out to be what I call the 360 approach to wholeness. And so that became my business plan. And then got divorced, got off track a little bit, went back to school to Marygrove, and I met one of my mentors, Sister Barbara, and she told me I was a social justice warrior. And I never knew what that was. I didn't understand that. But the way that my professors at Marygrove helped me flesh out my business plan became the catalyst for what you're hiring me to do now. Yay, mentorship.
Yes.
But seriously, but I just kept plugging at it, kept working at it. And then in 2018, on Wednesday at 3 a.m., God said, organize a prom. And I said, "Oh, God, that sounds like a good idea." Okay. And at the time, I was at an organization that Bobby and I met. And I thought it was going to be a service project for AmeriCorps. And it was a one-time deal. And a former director, as a matter of fact, I talked to her today. She didn't even realize she said this to me. She pulled me to the side and she said, "Learn what you need to learn, but you're bigger than this." And I said, "You don't know what you're talking about." And then after the first prom, things was just happening. The news came out, and my partner in life said to me after the first prom, shout out to Patrice, get some rest because this was about to be a thing. And I was like, "You don't know what you're talking about."
Oh, yes, he did.
And I'll say this, sometimes God will give the vision to your partner before he gives it to you, so that he or she can support you in that journey. Because had he not understood it before I did, it could have been really hard, because I was unemployed for at least 2 years building this thing. And he was my total financial supporter, as we talked about in the previous podcast, and a kept woman. But it was just being in that position, he was the one that kept saying, "You got this, you got this." And then I did a second prom. And I knew at the second prom that I was getting ready to transition out of state and move out of state. And so at the second prom, people came to me and said, when you're ready to keep doing this, let me know. And I was like, then I met who soon to be my partner, my vice president. And first, before I even go any further, I must say that I have the toughest, best board members, Torlise Anderson, Dr. Tamara Matthews, and Tamika Wafer. If it was not for them and their support, if it was not for Torlise being the cross the T, dot the I person, and she is dogged about it.
Yes, she is.
I could not do this because I don't like, that's not fun for me. I don't like to do this. If it wasn't for Dr. Tam questioning everything that I do and really challenging me and not being a yes man, I could not get my stuff back together. And Miss Tamika, she Torlise Jr. She don't want. She ain't gonna like that I said that, but she Torlise Jr. They really challenged me, challenged everything that I'm doing. So Torlise and I had met with the first prom, and she really took a hold of it. Like really took a hold of it. And with this, and then I met my other friend who now sponsors a charity basketball game, Professor Diamond Reynolds. Yay, Professor Reynolds. She actually was ear hustling and heard me talking about the second prom. And she was like, excuse me, I'm not trying to be nosy. I said, yes, you are, but go ahead and ask me anyway. She was like, what are you talking about? So I was telling her that I'm preparing to do the prom and what it's for. And she was like, I got to get involved. And from there, she took the idea of becoming a sponsor to new heights. New heights, because this Saturday's event is crazy. It is absolutely crazy. And we'll talk about that also. But it was people that God strategically placed in my life. People like you. I just so happened to call you about another question I had about domestic violence. It was like, and we ended up talking like an hour and a half, and we've been connected. That was like 3 years ago, Bobby, because it was before I moved.
We've been talking.
It was before I moved.
It was, you were about to move, and then once you moved in, we just stayed in contact. But I came to you because where we were at, I stayed glued to you. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. So,
I'm like, come on, girl, we be all right.
No, you were a godsend, and
Thank you.
know.
And you were. I was like, well, Bobby, I got some questions because I don't know nothing about domestic violence.
And I ain't know nothing about that organization.
And together we made it.
Yeah.
It was like Wonder Twin Powers activate. And so I moved to Atlanta and in the middle of COVID. And so Diamond still thought she was gonna put on a charity basketball game. I still don't know how she did it, but God had to sit her down and isolate me. And in that isolation, that's when the Prom Project of Michigan became a reality. Torlise reached out to me and said, look, when you're ready to stop bull crap and make this a 501c3, I'll walk you through it. I called her, it was 9 o'clock at night, and she walked me through the application process. And while we were talking, an email came through and it said, congratulations. And I said, Torlise, I got an email saying congratulations. She's like, make sure it's not spam. Open it up. And it was my EIN number. And less than 2 weeks later, I got my approval for a 501c3.
That was fast.
It was God.
Yes.
It was God. And it made me realize, okay, when I decided to say yes for real, he had already aligned everything that needed to be aligned. I just had to stop being afraid. But just because you say it, don't mean it don't stop.
Yeah.
And so I went through a real period of, because it was the first time in my life that, because I was in a new state, I I didn't have my immediate friends, even though I have my cousins who I loved beyond, but I didn't have those other people. And I started school, and my job was all remote. So I was isolated in the house with nobody to talk to, and I thought I was losing my mind. And God just kept working with me and working things out and making me recall those pains, those hurts, so that I'll be able to pour into those that I'm serving. And so we became a 501c3 in 2021.
Oh, that's why it's 20. Okay.
That's where the 21 comes from.
Okay.
TPPOM in the house.
I love you.
And then in 2022, we formed our board.
Okay.
And then in 2023, everything started coming together, and we had our first major charity basketball game. And I'll say this, the first game we had in 2019, we had 6 vendors, and we may have sold maybe 50 tickets. Last year, we had 18 vendors with a waiting list. This year, Diamond put on Facebook, we've already exceeded what we made last year before the game even starts.
Yes.
So I am extremely humbled. I'm honored, and I'm thankful that God put this on me to do. I'm going to say this. A 501c3 is not easy. People kill me talking about, well, I'm going to start a nonprofit. Not only am I the president and the founder, I am the grant writer. I am the person that's going out getting major donors. I'm over here, I'm over here, I'm over here. You know, my mom even asked me, she's like, well, I want to do something. Let me know when you have time. I don't have time. You just need to tell me when you want to do it, and I'll block that day off. Because this had to become the only thing that I was doing. And God gave me a partner that understood that first and supported me. Like last year, I was up here 5 or 6 times to help build this thing, and I didn't have a job. I had no income. I was just out here.
You had a Patrice.
I was on God and Patrice. I was out here like, woohoo! I'm a woman. And I make no qualms about that. You cannot build something that's life-changing, that's going to change generations, that's going to break generation curses, if first of all you're not 128,000% into it. And it takes real faith. It takes when you're up and you're scared because you don't have the money to get something done, and all you can say is, but God, you told me to organize the prom. When your bills are due and your mortgage is due, because I have a mortgage and I have rent, and when you like, okay, God, I don't have the money for the mortgage, and a check just pops into you have to walk out on such stupid, ignorant faith for it to work. And you have to trust the people, even if you don't trust the people that's in place, because Jesus had Judas.
Yeah.
And if it weren't for Judas, we wouldn't have a cross.
Yeah.
So I had to even learn to embrace the Judases in my life.
Girl.
That's a whole nother podcast. I got scriptures on that.
We gonna do that.
Ooh.
We gonna have that conversation.
You have, and that's another thing that I do want to share is that building this thing out, God has been dealing with me on leadership in the style of Jesus. And so I had to really, really learn, because I've been told I was a dictator. I don't know why people would say that.
You a dictator?
Oh my God, the lies. Anywho, but I do understand that when I have an idea and when I want a certain thing, I'm a Capricorn. I want what I want, how I want it, and I tell people all the time, and Charlize repeats this all the time, I'd rather ask for forgiveness than permission. Dominique never asked for permission to do crap. And so, but I had to learn to having women in your circle that don't yes you will help you not become a dictator.
Yeah.
You can't get nothing done if you think you're just gonna rambo over people. And you can't get nothing done if you're dealing with women that is like, you need to check yourself. And I am so grateful that. I am so grateful for that. But yeah, it's so this year we have more participants, attendees. I don't call them participants. More attendees. We have. We'll be at the beautiful Hotel St. Regis this year for the prom. We're providing an etiquette workshop this year called Invest in Yourself, and we have some dynamic speakers, including the former first Black Miss USA, Carol Gist,
Oh, wow.
is doing our Dress for Success.
Cool.
Miss Professor Diamond Reynolds is doing our elevator speech. And I'm going to use her real name. I'm not going to use her nickname that we grew up with. My friend LaVentress Cox Mitchell, who is an executive of Marriott, is going to be doing the networking portion.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we're going to be providing them with skills. And Dr. Tam actually came up with this idea. And we're going to be providing them with skills that they can take after the prom.
Yes.
But we provide everything for them. They'll get their dress, shoes, jewelry, bra, girdle. We get their hair done, makeup. We have makeup artists. By the way, we need some more makeup artists. Shameless plug. Nails. And the support is crazy. It is crazy. So yeah. So that's the prom project in a nutshell.
And I love all of it. I love all of it. So, on this journey, you're here today. Where do you see the prom project going? Like after this August, what's next?
So, when God gave me the vision of the prom project, He also told me to take it across the United States. And so we will be doing the prom in Atlanta, in Houston, and Phoenix. And then about a year ago, He whispered Africa. And I didn't tell anybody that one. I didn't even tell Patrice that one. I just kept that one really, really close to my chest because I was like, oh, first of all, how do I get to Africa?
Yeah. Yeah.
Africa is not like Detroit. You can put a few Michigans in Africa. So I don't even know what country in Africa I would be going to. And a young lady by the name of Barbara reached out, and the reason why me and Bobby is smiling because Bobby did a podcast with
Hey, Barbara.
I was able to put them two together, and so Barbara's from Uganda, and she has a wonderful organization.
I got to tell you something about that, but go ahead.
Okay, so she has a wonderful organization called Zingo, and she provides resources for domestic violence victims. And so she reached out to me on LinkedIn, and because I don't believe in coincidence, I believe in divine order, she said, I need to partner with you some kind of way. And I said, oh, okay, that sounds like a plan, because I'm just out here in these streets trusting God. What do I care? and so we were able to have a conversation, and the first thing she did, she was like, before we start, let's pray. And we talked and we talked. We talked for about an hour. And I was sitting there in amazement. I said, God, you just told me to organize the prom. I didn't have to worry about anything. Because one thing I didn't say when I moved to Atlanta, my fear was because I didn't know anybody, I wasn't going to be able to do it because of COVID.
Yeah.
And God was like, girl, I just told you to organize. I didn't tell you to worry about all of this. And I was like, I know, but. And he was like, just do what I told you to do. And I have met some of the most wonderful men and women via social media, via different organizations that I've gotten to be a part of in Atlanta that has said, I need to be a part of this. I need, and they're putting their money, their resources, their reputation into something that they've never heard about for a person they don't even know.
Look at God.
And so that is, I share that because there's somebody out there that's looking to do something and they're afraid that they don't know the right people. And I tell people, you just do what it is that God told you to do. You know, one of the things he kept telling me, okay, I'm about to preach.
Okay.
There's two things he kept showing me. He told Abraham to go into the land that I will show you. Abraham had to pack up everything and everybody. He didn't know where he was going. And I think, and when you think about that as a whole picture, you think about it was probably family is like, man, you stupid. You don't know where you going. People in his wife's ear. You about to follow him and he don't know where he going? What about this life? He got stuff here. He got stuff going on here. You know, his children. All my people here. Why we gotta go? And then the other thing that he showed me was Noah. Noah built a thing that no one heard about for a situation no one had ever seen. And it took him years, not what you see on the Ten Commandments. It took him years and years and resources. He took his money, he took his time. We talking about something that they say is about the length of 6 football fields. Imagine building something for a situation that nobody's ever seen. And that's what God showed me. He said, Dominique, you are building an organization that no one has ever seen for a group of people that no one feels deserves it. You're going to come up against opposition. You're going to have your Judases. You're going to have your doubting Thomases. You're going to have your Peters that's going to be willing to chop somebody's ear off and still deny that they even know you until they're in a situation where it's important that they know you. You're going to experience all of that. You're going to experience isolation. You're going to experience pain. You're going to experience having family members that won't like or repost or do anything for what you're building, despite the fact that you're building a global organization. These are all the things. And I still would not change anything. I would still say yes to the call. And so it is a journey. I am still on it. I would never be off of it. It's hard. It's exhausting. It's emotionally hard at times. But if he got way more faith in me than I had in me, because ain't no one in the world would have picked me to do this.
Well, you doing a really great job, Dominique.
Thank you, Bobby. I got people like you that I can call and like, oh my God. Oh my God, these people crazy as hell. Oh my God.
Don't share our phone conversations.
Okay.
No.
Edit that out. But seriously, I have people, you know, it's funny, Diamond and I will call each other just to pray. You know, because she's building something Detroit has never seen. A charity basketball game with celebrities. This is some Ice Cube 3-on-3 stuff that we doing. You know, her team, she has she got some real stars on her team. But you know,
pull up the flyer. Hold on, I got it. Somewhere in here. There you go. We got here. Can you see that?
I can. I kind of know him by her. So Mike Bonner is the host, and you know Mike Bonner from Comic View and all of those things. You know Alan Longstreet. Alan Longstreet is one of our favorite weathermen on Fox 2.
You know he don't have a real cell phone. He got a flip phone.
Why don't that surprise me?
Yeah.
Why don't that surprise me? We have the Miss Honorable Mayor Kelly Garrett, who is the mayor of Lathrop Village. And by the way, she's the only girl on the team, but she handles her own. And then we have Kamal Diesel Hassan. Kamal, you know him as the Tubi King. He has done so many Tubi movies. Side note, my cousin is super excited to meet him. And then we have a young man. I have yet to meet him also from Channel 2, Brandon. And then we have, I'm playing with, with
my phone here.
And then we have, Desi Johnson. Desi Johnson has been on Fox 2 News numerous times. Him and his wife Victoria. She's so sweet. They have a fitness concierge business called Des to Fit. And then we have, Dallas Logan. Dallas Logan is an alumnus of Loyola, and he's the highest scorer for Loyola. He plays overseas and stuff. And then we have Mr. Robert Courtney. Robert Courtney is the founder and owner of RCA Social Media. And so, some of if you follow us on Facebook, some of the real sweet videos that Diamond reposts is because he has done those. And then we have family members who have bought vendor tables supporting us, like Torlisa's nephew is doing the pictures, and we have just so many people that are supporting so many aspects of what we're doing. We have Kendra Scott Jewelry. Young lady reached out to us, and
I forgot to put up the flyer.
so Kendra Scott Jewelry is a beautiful line that's out in 12 Oaks Mall in Novi. Reached out to us, and they're sponsoring a fundraising event for us on Friday, July 26th from 1 to 5 p.m. in store and online. And so it's just P&G Scholars, the hair school, the cosmetology school, they're sponsoring our attendees to get their hair done. So many people. My best friend, and I know I'm forgetting people, but just to show you that if you do what God told you to do, He'll bring it. My best friend Nisi, she sponsored the candy table the first year, and she told me, this is my thing. This is my contribution. So we have these beautiful spreads on the candy table, thanks to her. So it's just so many people that are supporting us, that are reaching out to us, that are willing to travel for us. I have people coming from out of state to support, that want to go to Atlanta and Texas to support. We got a convoy going to Uganda next year.
I'm going with you.
My travel agent sent the packages and told to let us know. Remind me to send that to you. I was supposed to send that to you a few weeks ago.
Yes.
But just those kind of situations, God shows me again and again and again and again and again, Dominique, you're doing the thing that I told you to do. So I just want to encourage people, if God gave you a dream, He gave you the resources. You just got to step out on faith and do it. Bobby and I had a conversation a couple of days ago. I was like, Bobby, we're creating things that is going to allow our families to eat. We're creating tables that people we don't even know is going to be able to eat at our table. And so it's hard. Yeah, we got to tear it out sometimes.
Yes.
But we got each other to be like, at 11 o'clock at night, oh my God, just talk me off the ledge. That's all I need right now. And I got a therapist. Let's not get caught up in thinking because you got all these things together that you don't need help. God gave therapists school and credentials to help crazy. Well, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. People with vision. Again, to you off the ledge. And it takes all of that. It takes, I have a praying, praying family, a praying boyfriend. His mom, who lives with us, was praying for me on my way here.
Oh.
It takes all of that, because I am not an island. There's no way I could do any of this by myself. Diamond and I tried to do this by ourselves the first year and realized, oh, we need help. Because our vision is way too big for us to, try to do this on our own. But trust who God has put in your life. Trust the process. Trust, create an inner circle.
Yeah.
Surround yourself by praying people that pray for you for real, not on your downfall.
Yeah.
And then those who are, God will show you, and they will be removed.
Yep.
But they gonna be in these streets talking about, I went to school with her. I know her. Me and her used to talk. Okay. That's all you got.
That was for somebody.
Because I know they lurking. They always lurking. LinkedIn tell me. Anywho.
Oh my God, you are so Dominique.
I know I'm horrible.
No, you funny. I love it. No, because you're right. Because people will prey on you. The spirit of jealousy is real.
It is.
With you, Dominique, you carry a light, just a natural light about you. No matter where you go, you light up the room.
Thank you, Bob.
And a lot of times people are jealous of your light. It ain't got nothing to do. It could be a millionaire jealous of your light.
I've had that. It's been really weird. God has had me on this journey for a long, long time. I just had to get courageous enough to walk out what He already knew. I have been in positions where God talks to me in threes. In 3 different times at 3 different jobs, the manager said, "Who do you think you are?" I've been in positions where I was doing a fundraiser, and I used to work at the makeup counter, and the girl who I used to work with was so happy, the niece of the millionaire that gave the most money for this fundraiser. And I see her, and I'm like, "Hey, girl," we laugh, and she was like, "Come here, I need to introduce you to my uncle. He's the one that donated the $5 million. Now they want me to sit at their table." And the person who gave the fundraiser was like, "How you get to sit at that table?" I have been in places where I was invited to join a board for someone, and I turned it down, and the person who's over the board said, "Who are you to be invited to my board?" Oh, because not only was I not of another hue, but I'm not rich. I have been in places where I literally have $2 in my pocket, and everybody at that dinner table was wealthy, and they made sure I sat at the head. So God has been showing me along the way this whole entire time. I just was afraid of what He was showing me. But one day I realized I'm tired of being asked, "Who do you think you are?" Because I know whose I am.
I'm Dominique, bitch. No.
That part.
Look, you can't say that because we don't want to take the prom project, but I'll say it for you.
But it just took a lot, and like I said, I keep going back to isolation. Don't allow isolation to frighten you, because in those moments I got to know who I really am and who God wanted me to be. And being a natural leader, sometimes you shun away from that because you don't want to fit. You don't want people to think that you're haughty or that you think you're better.
It's like you stuff yourself because people can't handle. Well, insecure people, girl, I understand. They can't handle your light. They can't handle the energy of just that boss energy you carry.
And even with that, and people who are from your past
Yes.
will even minimize what you're doing because they're holding on to who you used to be. You know, when you and I were talking about this podcast, you said, you know, I'll be gentle. And I said, no, Bobby, ask me what you need to ask me because I'm not ashamed of my past. Because if it wasn't for my past, I couldn't be here and I could not tell that woman or that man that's experiencing homelessness how to go from homelessness to owning a home, which I did. You can't tell somebody who is experiencing mental abuse how to move away from a narcissist. You can't tell if you have never experienced emotional abuse. You can't tell someone, baby, you experiencing emotional abuse if you haven't experienced it. So anybody that, like I said, with they lurking tails, anybody that pop up in my life, anybody that see me on the street like, yeah, blah, 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 okay. Because that's in the sea of forgiveness with God. So you forgotten too. What's your name again?
But people do that. They'll bring up the past and stuff. That's the spirit of jealousy too. They bring it up to try to knock you down.
And minimize what God has done for you. But the Bible tells me, I don't know what he tell y'all, but the Bible tells me greater is he that is in me than is in the world. And they're part of the world. So whatever they say, whatever they do, because trust me, I've had some incidences where things have been tried to put on Facebook and people have tried to shame me. And the funny part about it is I ended up shining even more. So try to shame me. It's all good. It's all good.
Their evil was used for good.
Oh, all the time. All the time. This they head. This my feet.
Yep.
That's my footstool, and I'm real comfortable with it. But I definitely, you know, I just want to continue to encourage people. Be afraid. Do it afraid.
Yes.
Because the fear don't leave. I was talking to somebody and I was like, I wonder, because I get really nervous when it's time for these events because I want so much for them to be perfect.
Yes.
And I said, will I ever get tired? Will I ever not be afraid? And I realized this is my thorn. God uses this to keep me facing him.
Yeah.
And so if I'm fearful, I'm fearful, I'm not afraid. And so I'll feel the fear. I'll walk with the fear. We'll walk hand in hand, but I'm still doing what it is that God told me to do. And that's it.
Yes, and I love it. I love it. And eventually, once you, because you're already confident, but it's like once you get that that level of security, I think that you really need with this, that fear will dissipate. This will become second nature to you, and it'll go away.
It does, because I used to be fearful about asking for donations. Ooh, my ass game is so strong now. Ooh, I can be at the dentist, and I'm telling you, the podiatrists know about the Prom Project. There is nowhere, and this is what I tell people also that's building something. You cannot be ashamed of the thing that you're building. There's no, I literally was at the Goodwill yesterday buying glass containers for our candy table. And the lady at the cash register know about the Prom Project. You know why? Because I asked her, can I get a discount for the Prom Project? And she said, well, tell me about it. Everybody that has an ear, I can tell when I'm at the bank. I have a relationship with the manager at the bank in Atlanta. She is purposeful in asking me about the Prom Project in front of people because she know, like I know people ear hustling.
Yeah.
I have met a woman who was ear hustling that's a manager at Porsche. And I said, oh, it would be nice if Porsche decided that they want to do something for the Prom Project and take my attendees to the prom in Porsche trucks. Because that's what we doing.
We gonna just drop that over here.
You know, there are incidences where when I put it out there, I don't know who's listening, but I make sure everybody hears. I make sure everybody hears. And that's one of the things, even when I'm nervous, God will say, open your mouth. And I'm like, well, I'm going to open my mouth. Whether you pick up on it or not, that's on you. But I'm gonna do what God told me to do because He's shown me that I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. So yeah, heck, I'm nervous now.
You are?
I am.
I can't tell.
I know. Because I love the camera as well.
Well, you looking all cute and stuff. Go ahead, y'all. Look at her.
Makeup for you.
And your hair is beautiful too. So hey.
PNG Scholars. The young man.
Thank you. Oh, your camera. This is my camera. Thank you.
PNG Scholars, young man at PNG Scholars. Shout out to Miss Kia, who is super supportive of the Prime Project over there. Hey, Miss Kia. And again, I just open my mouth, and it's so rare that anybody tells me no. It's so rare. And if somebody tells me no, it's more likely that it's not now.
Yeah.
But it's never a no. And if it is a no and it's a hard no, well, they on the outskirts telling people, I know her.
Ooh. I'm trying to go to our Facebook to see if we got questions. Oops.
That's why she should stay pretty.
If you don't leave me alone.
More likely.
We got a comment.
Not now.
Yeah. Ooh, hold on, let me turn this down. Eventually it'll pop up.
Technology, don't we love it?
Gotta love it. But Dominique, no, what you're doing is a good thing.
Thank you.
Because, like, me being a domestic violence survivor. Sabrina Banks said, "In the spirit of envy." That part says, amen. Hey, Sabrina.
Hey, Brina Banks.
She said, Jeremiah 1. I don't know scripture like that off the top of my head. So what's Jeremiah 1, Sabrina?
She had told me, we talked the other day, and because God had put something on my heart to talk to her about. And she told me, Jeremiah 1, and it's about when they were to build the wall. Other people, scouts went out like, oh my God, there's so many of them, and they are this. And God told Jeremiah, you just build the wall. I didn't tell you to worry about any of that. Just do what I told you to do. And that's the thing. A lot of times people get so caught up in the minutia of trying to, of the details of stuff that they fail to do the thing that God told them to do.
Yeah.
It's really, really simple. He don't go into a whole bunch of rigmarole. God said, organize a prom. So when people are like, well, what's your budget? Faith, what you got on it? That's what I told Diamond when she first met me. She said, well, what's the budget? I got faith. What you working with? I have absolutely no problem telling people I ain't got no money. It takes approximately $20,000 to $20,000 to $25,000 for us to put this prom on for 20 attendees. They lack nothing. They get tiaras, they get sashes, they get goodie bags, and we don't give cheap stuff. You were there last year.
It was beautiful.
They get good stuff, and so we are. Yes, it's only 4 of us on the board, but we are a mighty, mighty team, and we are doing the work that God told us to do. And then you have Diamond, who is the plug out here in these streets.
Yes, she is.
She, at the second prom, Patrice told me, Dominique, watch who wants to hitch onto your wagon. And that's what I want to tell Diamond and you, because you two, I feel like we're a trifecta, because there are going to be people that's going to hitch onto our wagon because they recognize that you're the plug before we even recognize it in ourselves. And they're going to be like, oh yeah, they're going to want to be able to say, well, if it wasn't for me.
I have experienced that recently.
But let me tell you what happens with that, Bobby. God will expose them
Sarah said that's my sister. Dominique said, Serena said Dominique bougie. So she only get the best. And she said my sister's definitely bougie. But no, you know what?
Why comments about me? You don't even know each other. Y'all so
Be
rude.
nice, y'all.
Y'all so rude. I love my little sister.
No, but finish what you were saying, because I have experienced that. I have been experiencing that. So I feel you. And yeah, God has. I'm gonna say, during my time with the podcast, my discernment has increased tremendously. Like my spidey, my intuition. I call my spidey senses, my intuition, my spidey senses, but it has like really increased.
Because he's taking you higher. It has to.
It like immediately I see it, and to me, like the podcast has been. I feel like it's been growing.
It is.
And I've been helping so many people, and I'm loving it. But I just noticed, even with the advocacy agency, I've noticed certain things. And it's like I'm very particular about how I do business, who I do business with,
and who gets in your inner circle.
and who gets in my inner circle. Because I love everybody, but when it comes to handling the lives of others, God gave me certain gifts and talents to help other people. I have to protect those people.
Exactly. And I'm gonna say this. This is nothing God revealed to me. In the Bible, I can't remember what chapter and verse, but in the Bible it says 300 people followed Jesus everywhere he went. So he had a fan club, but we only know about the 12. And we only know details about a few. So with that, you're going to have a fan club. But the ones that you choose for your inner circle are the ones that's going to help you propel to the next level. And that's why I say you got to surround yourself with people that are praying people. You got to surround yourself with people that are not yes men. And you got to surround yourself with people that really, really believe, even if they don't understand what you're doing, they believe in what you're doing.
Yes.
Because it's you. And then I'm going to say, I hate family and friends sometimes.
Sabrina said, y'all gonna have me pull out my Bible. Pull it out. Pull it out, girl.
I'm going to say this, and I pray that God lets me say it the way I feel it. And this is specifically for you. Where you're about to go, you're going to have to reset some things that are in your life right now, because it's being used to keep you locked in on a certain level. God wants to create something, like I said, on a global level with us. And the thing that I see for you is an organization that has a school, that has health care, mental care, and not just here.
That's my vision.
Didn't I start this off by saying, God, give it to me the way it should be said?
Because that's I just told Quan this. Me and Quan was standing in, was that Panera or Starbucks? We was somewhere.
I think you were spending money.
No, we were doing our business meeting, and I shared my vision, but that was my vision. Like, I said a whole bunch more, but that was part of my vision for my advocacy agency.
So thank you, Father God. I'm saying that to say, share your vision with as little people as possible. Because
everybody know now.
Right, but they don't know the whole vision.
Well, they don't know the whole vision.
Because I say all the time that God told me to take it across the United States and into Africa. I never say how we get there. That's the part for the inner circle. So I'm saying that to say, hold close to your dream, hold close to the vision, because God will put in your place the people that you need in order for you to get there. And then also, don't dismiss the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes we think that we're supposed to be here because we've seen the vision. Because I had a dream about the charity basketball game the other day that we were literally. I already told Diamond I ain't about to keep sharing it, but I saw it. I saw it. I saw it. I can smell the smells. I can hear everything, and I only told Diamond that. I told Diamond, of course, Patrice, because Patrice know everything.
Yeah.
But I told the people that know first is going to pray about it.
Yeah.
And they also are going to hold it close to their vest. And so sometimes when God gives us a global vision, because that's what this is, a global vision, we don't have to be careful, but we do have to be obedient to the Spirit of the Lord on who we share it with.
Yeah.
Because we're so happy. Bobby and Diamond, this is the problem.
You get excited.
Me and Diamond said this last year at the basketball game. I was like, y'all got to keep us reined in because me and Diamond are so excited to be helping people.
Yep.
And we're so excited that other people want to be a part of this that we get all over the place and we forget things. And I tell even my board, please charge it to my head and not my heart because I am truly grateful for them. But there was a moment where I forgot to even talk about them and say their name. When Diamond had me on any streets, on the news and on the radio station and stuff. And it was because there was so much I was trying to get out. But I realized I got to first thank my core. I got to first thank the people that are helping me build this thing. And so sometimes Bobby and I have been on the phone for a good hour and a half, 2 hours. Just laughing and chit-chatting and sharing our dream with each other because you need those kind of people in your life. But you also need somebody that you can even talk intimately with, and he'll bring that person to you. He really and truly will. That's going to say, okay, sit down and do the work. Because that's what Patrice did for me. He's like, stop trying to look for a job. I know you want money, but I'm taking care of it. But what you need to do is concentrate on the prom. That's all you need to do is concentrate on the prom. And that's hard because, I'm an overachiever. And I got adult ADHD, at least self-diagnosed. So I'm all
You got it.
I'm all over the place. It was really, really hard for me to concentrate on just the prom. But guess what? When I worked this year, I ain't been able to do no grants this year. I haven't been able to reach out to sponsors this year. And I had to get my hands spanked. So God showed me, okay, I'll let you go ahead and get the job. I told you to organize the prom, and that's the only thing I can concentrate on. So that's my full-time gig. If I get a job, fine. But if I don't, God will take care of me. I'm not about to worry about it because I got something that's bigger than this. You know, I'm creating opportunities that I've talked to my daughter about creating a culinary part to it because she has her BS in culinary arts. She's a certified chef. My mother did grant writing. She has certification in grant writing. She wants to retire, so she can help me with that. God gave me all the peoples.
Yeah.
All the people. My best friend / boyfriend graduated with all kind of certificates and a degree in event planning and all the things. I got the people.
I need me a Patrice. Let me get my Patrice out there.
So back when we were little,
oh Lord,
we say all the time, we don't know when we understood who each other were. We've been in each other's lives all our lives.
That's a blessing, though.
It is. We have been best friends all of our lives, but we literally have. His sister and my auntie were best friends when they were 15. And so they're all I know. They are all I know. His sisters are my aunties, which makes us kind of weird.
Y'all family, you know what? Incest. No, I'm just playing. So Sabrina said, what you do when God gives you the vision but separates you from the people you thought would help you get there. She said a word.
So I will address that. So there were people who I did the prom, And I thought now that I have my own 501c3 that they were supported. They did not.
Mm-hmm.
It hurt my feelings so bad because I could not understand if you were so supportive when I did it. Now that it's an actual thing, why are you ghosting me?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what God showed me?
What?
Because they have told people that if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have done it. But this is the thing. Because God will let you hear the whole conversation.
Hater, hater, hater.
But this is the thing. When I started going on TV, when I started going on the radio, doing the podcast, Diamond had us in the magazine. All of that was done without this person. And so what happens, the people that they tell, now they looking cross-eyed at that person because they like.
Because I thought you did that for them.
And you still over here in this little bitty, in this over here, in this.
We shall say nameless.
You over here. But she doing A, B, C, D, E, F. It can't possibly be you. And so I'll say this to Sabrina and to the audience. Allow yourself to feel the pain.
That's what she said. Yeah, it hurts. Yeah.
It does hurt. It does hurt. But God also removed them because where you're going next, they can't go.
Yes.
They can't go. They've served the purpose that God wanted them to serve. They served the purpose of showing you, because if they were allowed to stay, you would have depended on them, and not on God.
Yep.
So he had to remove them so you can only depend on him.
They're blessing blockers. And we don't even realize sometimes we keeping blessing blockers in our lives.
Because they're family, they're friends. Oh, I've been knowing this person for 40 years. Okay.
40 years of what?
Let me tell you, my cutoff game in these streets.
It's real, huh?
And I know it's probably somebody listening like, dang, yeah, she did kind of cut me off.
Well, they gave you the knife.
Yeah, it be like that sometimes.
She said, you better preach, Sabrina.
Why Sante laughing at us?
Sante feels that he feels it. He feels it.
Because it's hard. It's hard, especially with family. You think that people are supposed to support you and supposed to cheer for you. Or even when somebody said they're going to do something and then they totally... Diamond and I had that experience at the first basketball game. She was supposed to... somebody was going to partner with her to sponsor and ghosted her and left Diamond literally holding the bag with no recourse on how she was going to raise this money for the prom. And I'm going to say this, and I hope that she's listening. Diamond shows so much integrity because she came to me with tears and said, I don't know how it's going to get done, but I'm going to do it. And we brainstormed and came up to charity basketball game. And I said, well, I can't help you because I got to work. And she did everything. She got the players. She got the sponsors. She got everything.
Her name ain't Diamond for nothing.
Let me tell y'all, if y'all don't know #Professor Reynolds, y'all need to know. Because talking about a plug,
Yeah.
she's at the Mike Ilitch Business at Wayne State School of Business at Wayne State University. Hey, Professor Reynolds.
And she'll be here August 1st.
And you can meet her on Saturday when you come to the basketball game at Yola High School from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m.
You silly. She had to get that in there, y'all.
Shameless plug.
What time is it? Diamonds are forever. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. It's 8:07. So we have to get ready to wrap up. But before we do, first I want to say, Dominique, this was fun.
This was so
I
much
could
fun.
tell you were nervous. I could not. And I just wish you well on this journey.
Thank you.
You are going to go far.
Thank you. We in this together, Bobby.
Girl, so you're going to have to keep giving me these pep talks because you know how I get in my feelings sometimes. Who just told me to get out my... Was that my best friend just told me to get out my feelings? I got to work on that.
Ain't no money in feelings.
I know, and I gotta do that. But before, I want to say this before I forget. Barbara, so after the show, my girlfriend Toya, hey Toya, she and her mom, Miss Linda. Hey, Miss Linda. I just want to give them some kudos because they are taking on her. Miss Linda is a very creative, artistic seamstress. She and Toya and her sister Toya got a gaggle of sisters, and they all know how to sew. So they have taken on making the pad
period panties.
for Barbara.
Oh my God.
And now that life is slowed down for me, I gotta call Barbara so I can do what I said I was gonna do for her. But so my girlfriend, she just, was like, we gonna make them. I was like,
If you want
okay.
to know who we're talking about, go on ZIINGO.org.
Zingo.
Zingo.org. She's in Uganda and she's a beautiful, beautiful spirit. If you want to help, there are young ladies that cannot go to school because when they start their period, they don't have sanitary napkins. And so Barbara is trying to, she started an initiative to have period panties created so they can be washable. These young ladies, because some of the traditions in rural Africa are what they are, some of these young ladies are teased so badly to the point where they drop out of school. Mm-hmm. No person that wants to get educated should be denied an education for something that God has naturally gifted women.
Yeah.
And so if you want to support what Barbara is doing, please, please, please reach out to her. She's a sweetie, sweetie, sweetie pie.
Yeah.
She's gonna pray for you first and tell you now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that makes me so happy.
Yeah. So
it's funny because I told Barbara, I was like, "Oh, you haven't been my friend. She got a podcast."
No, and then I got so big. Okay, so my daughter, I was doing an engagement party, and I just got so engulfed in that, and now it's over. I can breathe. And yeah, so but shout out to Toya and Miss Linda.
Thank you, Toya and Miss Linda.
Just for, and I didn't even ask her. She told me what she doing.
But that's what I'm saying.
I didn't even ask her.
It's situations like this, and it keeps happening. I touch somebody here and touch somebody here, and now they're together, and that's what I want. I want everybody to eat off this table. Mm-hmm. That's the purpose. Yes, to honor those who have survived human trafficking, domestic violence, and we're going to make sure that. But I want everybody to be able to eat off this table. Mm-hmm. That want a meal.
What movie was that? He was like, "We all gonna eat." What movie is that? I forgot the name of the movie. The tall, dark skinned dude. He's like, "We all gonna eat." I forgot what movie that was. But anyway, so thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for just like one being an encouragement to me, and I appreciate the meme you tagged. I love my meme, so thank you for tagging me in that to keep me encouraged. And I'm ready to let's do this.
We're going global, y'all. Either you get on board and get your passport and your shots, or you get left behind.
So
that's on you.
I'm looking forward to this. And I never would have thought all those years ago when I met you that, our journey would take us,
God.
Yeah. I never, thought about that, but I just always thought you were a beautiful heart, and you are, and you're blessing so many people, Dominique. So thank you from the bottom of my heart,
You're about to make me cry.
No, don't cry. Don't cry. And then, real quick, because we over time. So, to support the channel, everyone, love social media pages. So Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, we have all of those. YouTube, love, share, subscribe to YouTube, and then also share with others on all platforms, like I said. And then comment, like in the comments tonight, Sabrina and Sarah were sharing their comments. Just be encouraging to other people. The whole point of Life Essentials, the Self-Healer's Journey, is to help other people heal on their journey through life, because sometimes we need somebody else to guide us or to know that we're not alone. So that's the point of my platform, is just to help as many people connect with each other, to help each other heal. And just share, get in the comments, say something encouraging. Just, be a light to others in this dim world, please. And then financially support the channel. You can donate to Life Essentials. I use Cash App for now, y'all. I'm just starting out the game, okay? But it's Life, LIFEESS podcast on Cash App. And all proceeds for anything donated to the channel go towards funding. I have an advocacy agency, a domestic violence, and I'm going to say human service advocacy agency called Winning Touch Advocacy Agency. And the funds go to resources to help victims of domestic violence and intimate partner violence start their new healing journeys. So whatever they need some help with, that's what I'm paying for. That's what I'm doing. And then also it also goes to fund the weekly broadcast of the podcast to keep us going here too. So you want to support just all those ways, just support. If you want to be a guest on the show, you can, DM me on Instagram. Can you do DM on YouTube? I don't know. No, just I'm out there somewhere.
She's on Facebook.
I'm on Facebook. So go to Life Essentials, Facebook page, and you can DM me there. You can even put a post. So that's it for that. And then next week, I'm excited to finally be doing this show with my partner in crime over here. Y'all can't see him, but I call him my super producer, Asante Lucas. He is the owner of The Wonderful Pod. So Dominique walked in and she was like, "Oh, Bobby, this is so nice." I said, "This ain't bad." This beautiful setup here belongs to Mr. Asante Lucas here at the Pod, Effigy Media Arts. This is his. So, but he is going to be my special guest next Thursday at 7 p.m. And we're going to talk about synergy. When you connect with people, like Dominique been saying, connecting with people on your journey, and the synergy between you just helps grow everything. So that's what we'll be talking about, just reciprocity and just business relationships, So join us next Thursday at 7 p.m. live on YouTube and Facebook, me and my special guest. And Sante, what's the name of your podcast again? The new one?
Oh, Pontiac, WYAC.
WYAC. So, and you come on what time?
Tuesdays at 7.
Tuesdays at 7 p.m. And he is live on Facebook too. It's a good show. Y'all want to be entertained, and y'all want to hear some some raw, untethered truths. Tune in to Asante's show. So I'll see you guys next week, and thank you again, Dominique.
Thank you for having me, Bobby. This was a blast.
You're welcome.
This was a blast. Thank you so much.
And then I'll be seeing you on Saturday. So I'll be there Saturday, signing people up to be on Life Essentials podcast. And I'll also have some resources from Winning Touch Advocacy Agency. So I had this big old thick resource book that I hand out, because I can't just here, share a link, that whatever. But yeah, so I'll be there.
You really need to get a QR code for that.
I know, and I tried to do it. I didn't know what I was doing. Y'all trying to figure this stuff out, okay? I have one for my social media, because it generated on its own or whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm still trying to figure out how to do one for my resource book.
You can do it. We'll talk after.
Okay, thank you. Look at that, y'all. And I am not tech savvy. This show is possible because of Mr. Lucas. So, all right, guys. I will see you guys next week. Dominique, let's say bye-bye. Bye, everyone.